Welcome back to one of the gayest channels on YouTube, or at least in my opinion anyway. We all love a good movie with a solid plot, but sometimes we like watching movies for other reasons. In this video I'm counting down my picks for the top 10 guilty pleasure films that we like to watch. Not so much for the plot, but rather the gay subplot, or perhaps the fact that the lead actor is on the handsome side. I want to give a special shout out to my Patreon members for supporting my Patreon, and this video is brought to you by my Patreon members. If you don't know, I do have a Patreon page where I show you stuff that I don't show you on YouTube, exclusive content, behind the scenes and more. So feel free to check it out. You don't have to, but it will mean a lot to me if you check out my Patreon and help my Patreon to grow. With that being said, let's head over towards Rainbow and follow the yellow brick road.
Follow the yellow brick road.
In a paradise filled with wonder, the story continues for a new generation. Return to the Blue Lagoon.
Return to the Blue Lagoon came out in 1991 as a sequel nobody really asked for. But trust me, closeted viewers got exactly what they needed. Brian Krause was a fresh-faced 22-year-old actor when he starred in Return to the Blue Lagoon.
Breakfast looks extra good today.
Thank you. Don't forget, it's your turn to cook tomorrow.
The plot of the film? It was basically a reboot/sequel to the Christopher Atkins original Blue Lagoon, where two hot, half-naked teenagers grow up stranded on a tropical island. I guess they were hoping that lightning would strike twice. But unfortunately this movie was a box office bomb and hated by critics. But it was secretly loved by closeted gay guys. Brian Krause didn't just make us swoon, he made us question. Why were we more interested in him than his love interest? It wasn't just that he was handsome, it was that he was safe to crush on. Because technically he was a romantic lead in a heterosexual love story. You could stare openly under the guise of following the plot, while your inner world was being completely rearranged.
Brian's acting a little peculiar. Something's gotten into him. Brain Damage.
Brain Damage is a 1988 horror comedy that follows the story of a young man called Brian who wakes up one day to find a creature has attached itself to the base of his brainstem. The creature gives him a euphoric state of happiness but demands human victims in return. Brain Damage starred 80s heartthrob Rick Hurst in his debut role. He went on to star in several soap operas including Days of Our Lives, Guiding Light, The Young and the Restless and General Hospital.
I don't remember where I went or who I met or what I did. All I remember is feeling something sticky in my pants and then finding them covered in blood. All I remember is feeling something sticky in my pants.
You weren't at the party last night. Where were you? Well, it's totally on the DL. I mean, not fit to print. I'm dating John Tucker.
John Tucker Must Die is a 2016 comedy and tells the story of three teenage girls who plan to break the heart and social standing of the school basketball star John Tucker after they learn that he's been secretly dating all three of them at the same time and telling each one that they're the one. The movie grossed a total of $14 million on opening weekend despite the lukewarm reviews, and it's quite easy to see why audiences flock to the cinemas to watch it.
Now pout for me, John, pout! More pouting, yeah! Oh yeah, I love you. Now make me hate you. Hate me, yeah, oh yeah.
John Tucker is shirtless in several scenes that scream gay, but none as much as the part where he wears a red thong.
Deathstalker 2, Duel of the Titan.
Forget about high art epiphanies. Sometimes a late night VHS, a bargain bin fantasy flick and a very charismatic sword wielding guy is enough. And for a surprising number of viewers, John Terlesky in Deathstalker 2 worked like a shortcut to queer recognition. Sword and sorcery films put the male body front and center. Big swords, minimal armor, and lots of shirtless heroics. John Terlesky wasn't just muscle. Critics and later commentators noted that his charisma and playful on-screen presence made him feel warmer and more mischievous than a lumbering Conan type. That accessibility made him an easier mirror for curious viewers. In other words, he made it feel okay to notice him.
Hey, big man! You and your boys want to play some little wager while the game is still closed?
Sleepaway Camp was released in 1983 and is considered a milestone in gay representation in cinema. And believe it or not, its gayness go way deeper than its short shorts and bare midriffs. 80s horrors didn't shy away from nudity, especially female nudity that basically ruled the genre back then. Sleepaway Camp, on the other hand, lingers more on the male characters, hypersexualizing the guys in their midriffs bearing cut-off tees and short shorts.
Come on, man. No problem, Gino. This
this guy blows dead dogs. Just lay it in there.
You gotta love the 80s, and this movie, though it didn't always receive recognition it deserves, was one of only a handful of movies from that decade that objectified male characters.
In the world of Dungeons, Dragons, the Beastmaster.
Back in the 80s, when everyone had a VCR, most of us watched a movie that seemed to have been made just to make everyone who watched it a little bit breathless. It was called Beastmaster, and it featured sword, sand, and one very memorable torso. That torso belonged to Mark Singer, who played Dar, the shirtless, animal whispering hero who'd pop up in one of the wildest movies from the 80s, literally. Mark Singer wasn't a tabloid superstar just yet, but he was the kind of leading man who operated in chest-beating loincloth energy. The costume design for Dar favored straps, leather, and a lot of skin. A mashup of fantasy warrior and, well, late-night eye candy. In a decade when openly gay representation was sparse, seeing a powerful man presented as an object of desire on mainstream fantasy screen was quietly radical for a lot of viewers.
Let's go!
The Raft is one of 3 stories and, in my opinion, is the strongest story of the film. You can basically say it's a compressed teen horror movie, with all the hallmarks of the genre. A remote location, character stereotypes, and a mindless antagonist that picks them off one by one. Even if the antagonist is Black Sludge.
Laverne, Rachel, swim! Come on!
Paul Satterfield and Daniel Beer play the 2 male leads of the segment. Daniel Beer might have been my personal favorite in the segment, but sadly his career consisted mostly of guest appearances in the years that followed. With his striking resemblance to the late Christopher Reeve, Paul Satterfield's acting career showed a bit more promise, making a name for himself in TV soap operas like General Hospital, The Bold and the Beautiful, and One Life to Live.
I mean, what is it?
I don't know. What's the story? The place you're looking for is here. It's off this side of the island. It's called the Graveyard.
I'm beginning to think that trusting you was a mistake.
1313 was a series of homoerotic horror movies released back-to-back between 2011 and 2012. The movies obviously catered to gay viewers, as each movie consisted of a cast of very handsome, shirtless men finding themselves in all sorts of trouble.
Where's all the others? Don't know. As long as no one's banging Victoria. Dr. Cougar Lady is mine. Don't you see that there's something else going on here? Something she's not telling us?
Back in the day when streaming and on-demand services listed movies alphabetically, adding a number to the front of your movie title made sure that you'd be at the top of the list.
Yeah, it's more of a working, studying kind of vacation.
What do you study?
I'm also interested in who might be researching us.
Even if these movies aren't your cup of tea, you probably stumbled upon them at some point. They're cheesy, low budget, and the actors can't really act. Not that anyone is actually watching the movies for the award-winning acting.
Introducing Christopher Atkins in The Blue Lagoon.
2 teenagers stranded alone on a tropical island discovering love, desire, and themselves, in a way no one quite expected. When The Blue Lagoon hit theaters in July 1980, it was controversial for the obvious adolescent romance, sensual nudity, and Brooke Shields' topless scenes. But it was Christopher Atkins' raw, unguarded portrayal of Richard that had an even more profound, if quieter, impact. Christopher Atkins' willingness to bear more than just his soul on screen challenged conventions of the time, helping a generation realize their true selves through his beach-bound allure. We witness Richard's muscular form glistening in the sun, unashamed and vulnerable, a symbol of idealized natural beauty that spoke straight to repressed desires in a time when gay representation was scarce. Just picture it, it's 1985, you're sitting cross-legged in front of the TV, pretending to care about space pods and senior citizens swimming in alien water. But then he walks on screen, tanned, tousled, and wearing the shortest shorts of this side of a pride parade. As boat captain Jack Bonner, he's sweaty, salty, and almost always dressed like a lifeguard who just rolled out of a Tom of Finland sketch. And that very short swimming trunks, they deserve their own IMDb page. Every scene with Gutenberg felt like a low-key striptease. He's lounging on his boat, legs spread just a little too wide, bending over to check the engine, or casually just walking around like he didn't just cause 1,000 closeted boys to break out in a sweat. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy my video about the top 10 sports apparel moments in movies. You can watch that video by clicking on the link that will be appearing on your screen, or you can check out the uncensored version on my Patreon page. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, remember to give me a thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithm so that other people like yourself can find me more easily on their home feed. And also subscribe if you haven't. I'm not sure why I have so little subscribers. Over 70% of the viewers aren't subscribed yet, so I'm not sure why not. But anyway, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.